This video is made for adult collectors because I walked into the store I picked this up from not expecting to find this at all, and it was just like sat staring at me in the face, and I had like the biggest grin on my own face. It was great. So you know how I took delivery of this and the new More Than Meets the Eye 86 guys, right? And that's a lot of projects. Out for delivery. There's more arriving. Sometimes it becomes just a little too much. I love this idea. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised they haven't done this before because this feels like a no-brainer, but either way, it's here now and it's such a fun concept. I want them to do more. A Decepticon symbol Megatron soon, please. Oh, imagine if they did like a Terracon symbol that became a Scourge that looks more accurate than the Studio Series one. That'd be funny. This is so shiny. I wasn't expecting this to be as metallic as it is, and it's so bright, but in a good way. It's such a nice shade of candy apple red, and the finish feels super durable. It's a wee bit of a fingerprint magnet, but it doesn't feel like I'm gonna scratch it off. It's also like a little bit bigger than a digestive cookie and maybe like the same thickness as a cheese sandwich. I think I'm hungry. It's small, and if you look at just the alt mode alone and the price, you're gonna go, nah. Oh, speaking of price, this was purchased at Heroes World. Here's the box, not sponsored. I like all the little bits of detail along the side and the back. I'm glad they didn't leave them blank, but it would have been neat if there was like just some color throughout that, especially because it would have made the robot mode feel a little bit less bland. But staying on the back for a second, you see this on the top? Yes, that is a wall mount. Yeah, so he comes with a stand, a pretty nice looking stand that unfortunately doesn't have any motion outside of a rotation at the top, but it connects to the wall mount piece, or you can just put him on the wall. That's really cool, honestly, and again, makes me really want them to do more because having a whole bunch of these on the wall would be sick. The gun can store on the stand, or if you don't want to use the stand, you can peg the gun into the back as sort of like a kickstand to hold him up. However, that isn't really necessary as he stands up fine by himself because of how rectangular the base is, just like my phone. I love how palmable it is. It can really just fit into my pocket and takes up as much real estate as a folding phone. It's great. I just can't get over how wonderful this red looks. It's so nice. But alright, let's turn him from a chunky Autobot symbol into a skinny, athletic Optimus with weird shoulders. This thing is very simple, but it grows. So, I'm gonna bring one of the Seekers in here, just to show you. He's about half the height of one of these guys, right? In robot mode, he will be taller. Much taller. Well, not much taller, but like he will be taller, and it's kind of cool. So, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is just grab him by like the cheeks and just sort of pull them down, because they'll be the legs. You rotate them around. Now, these hips were actually backwards on mine. When I got them, they were like this, so, you know, you want the rivets facing that way, because this is going to be the back of the figure. But once you do that, you want to rotate the thigh swivels, then open these panels up, bring the foot out, fold it flat, rotate it, and then fold out the heel. There's your copyright in there, and then you close that up. So just do that again here, open this, open that, flip it around, fold out the heel, close that up. There are your legs. Pretty easy. Then we're going to fold down the crotch flap and fold down the butt flap and then rotate this 180 degrees. Now we're going to take the top section here and you're going to bring the shoulders out. Then you're going to come here and pull the arms out from inside. And this one likes to get stuck. Oh, there it goes. I don't know why. It just gets caught. But then you open this section up and fold out the hands. Open this section up, fold out the hands. They have these little nubs right here that attach inside of here. You can see one of the holes there to lock the wrist in place. This one doesn't want to work on mine for some reason. It doesn't lock in. I don't know what it is because they're not like differently shaped at all. It just doesn't fit. But once you get that done, you want to compress the torso, and this is really cool. So you take this section here and you fold it up like that, and then you open this entire back section. Then you take this front part and you shift it down all Combiner Wars like, and then you bring this piece, fold that in, and then accordion it on itself. And then you want to fold this bit up here, and there you have him. It's very simple to do back and forth, but I really enjoy flicking it around. It's been like a really fun fidget desk toy. And then, as I said, here's the Seeker. And you can see how much taller he is now than the Seeker. This thing grows. Not gonna lie, that's a pretty nice looking Optimus design. It's nice not to have like just the generic shapes of the truck windows and the grille. They left all of that out, and I prefer that on something like this. I'm glad the candy apple red is still present in the robot mode, but it's very top heavy when it comes to colors. The bottom from the front is nothing but blue feet and just gray. And that's why I wish there was a little bit more color on the back of the Autobot symbol, because it would have filled this out a bit more. The side sections on the legs though do have the rest of the red, so if you take a photo or like a video shot or whatever from any other angle, there is color there. The head sculpt feels very Classics Prime, with that big mouth plate and how it absorbs the nose and the way it handles the eyes and the eyebrows. It's also a very glossy metallic blue, which I really like. The one thing I don't like that much though, other than the gray, is the shoulders. The pivot point on the actual shoulder itself is quite low in comparison to where the rotation point is. So it moves out lower from where the shoulders actually sit, and it looks funky, especially in motion. That's another thing that's weird. Just in motion, it's kind of hard to make him look good in a pose. His shoulders and limited ankle tilt make getting him into poses hard, and when you do, he just looks wonky. He can hold his gun, which is a nice sort of stylization on the Ion Blaster, and if you rotate the stand adapter around, he can fit on that, and that's actually really cool. I wish more Transformers came with flight stands, even if they're just static ones like this thing. It would be a nice inclusion. Oh, and the wall mount is still usable in robot mode, so you can do the funniest thing ever. The Autobot symbol in his chest is removable, don't know why, and it's also a bit loose on my copy. The head is on a ball joint, not that much tilt, but it can rotate and look up and down. The shoulders can rotate a full 360 and go out at both the shoulder pad and the shoulder itself. He has a bicep swivel and over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. The wrists can swivel, and he has opening hands. That's very nice. There is a waist joint. The hip skirt is one piece, but doesn't really have to move out of the way for the hips to go forward and back and in and out. He has thigh rotation, double jointed knees that bend over 90 degrees, and then ankle rotation and a very slight ankle tilt. It's a pretty nice figure in posing, but those limited ankles and weird shoulders, they just throw me off. Not enough for me to hate the thing, but enough for me to keep him in alt mode. Now, cost. This is 55 Canadian dollars, or 38 US dollars if you convert that, which honestly isn't horrible. A Voyager here is 47 Canadian dollars, and this is larger than most Voyagers, a bit denser, and has metallic paint and a stand. Actually, on that metallic paint front, I have a paint master I'm not allowed to show. It was a gift from one of the toy companies I know, but I was told not to post any photos, but it's a figure of theirs that's covered in metallic paint, but the final release came out in flat colors. They told me the reason was because in their standard budget for this product, metallic paint would not have fit at all in the price point, because metallic paint is way more expensive than regular paint. And I think that's why this costs more than a Voyager. Well, that and Hasbro wants your money, but I think one of the hard hitters is the metallic paint. So with that in mind, I still think if you knock like $2 to $3 off the price, it would have been perfect for me price-wise, because it's still a really neat figure, all things considered. I love this concept, and I do appreciate the metallic paint, but if that's gonna make it cost a little bit more, I also would have been okay with flat red. But that's been my look at the Autobot symbol. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
It's like he's in timeout. You just hung him on the wall. It's so fun. Can I flip him upside down? Will he stay? No, he won't. But that's really funny. He's hanging on a thumbtack. I didn't want to. Well, I just took that off the wall and hung him up there. He's gonna live there forever now.